that if you understand her kit, just like any other tank, she is a really good tank. So I'm gonna place her in A. I will actually place her in A plus if the lobby is all dive. If you have a full dive lobby and you're playing Penny will completely shut them down. Her snag, like she can snag you every 2 seconds. She becomes super annoying for the frontline tanks. Why? Because she can just literally just use her right click ability to be able to just snag you and then stun you for a second, and then you're stuck there while you watch the entire enemy team focus your backline, right? Cap is your GOAT. Cap is so good. Cap is so good. But Penny is a very strong tank if you understand her abilities, right? Using her stun every 3 seconds. She can use that stun, chat, to block an enemy Iron Man ult. She can use her stun to stop Scarlet Witch. She can use her stun to stop so many different ults just by her ability, her cooldown. And that cooldown's on a, what, 3 second cooldown, right? Like, she can literally just stop all of that. It's a 3 second cooldown, right? So like, sorry chat, this is making me really sad and slow. We're gonna change this. I'm gonna change this to, let's change it to this music. There we go. All right. Venom will always be my real call when it comes to tanking. Venom is extremely good, but we're talking about Penny right now. We talked about Venom already. Penny is actually really, really good if you understand their cooldowns. For instance, if you have a Strange on the opposing team and the Penny is nice music switch up. Thank you, because it was putting me to sleep and I had to change it. But like, for instance, if there's an enemy Strange and you know they're having Strange ult soon, you can literally cancel the ult as soon as you hear it by using your right click, and then he has no ult for another, you know, fight, for instance. She's very, very good, used very, very well. It's all about her cooldown rotation. So when people put her in C or in D tier as far as Penny's concerned, I disagree with that because she's actually stronger than what people make her. And if you put her Ness in the correct situations and set up correctly, she can be really, really annoying. She can shut down a lot of different ults. She can shut down Venom ult. She can shut down Emma ult. She can shut down Strange ult. She can shut down a lot of different ults just by paying attention to what's going on. So, all right. So that is Penny. And I think she's an A tier tank. The next tank I'm going to say here, who is extremely good this season and very, very annoying, is Hulk. Or not Hulk, Thor. Okay? Thor is extremely strong this season. His mobility is extremely good. When people tell me that Thor is a throw pick, I laugh because you guys have no idea the potential that Thor has. Thor can shut down a lot, and he does a ton of damage. He is literally the manifestation of a DPS with a ton of health. He can come up and just fry your backline. He can dive your backline if he wanted to, or he can bully your front line. He can go anywhere and just take space and be annoying, right? He can fly anywhere. His cooldown is super short. It's a 1 to 2 second mobility cooldown, and he can push and pull people everywhere. All right. When people say Thor is a B or a C tier, they don't understand how to play Thor correctly.
I'm about to make a name for myself.
Thank you so much for the follow. Hey, what's up, Sundance? How you doing? That is my artist. For those who don't know, my artist is in the chat. You guys were talking about like who is Sundance and who is my artist. That's my artist. Thank you so much for the follow. We're working on some more stuff for you guys, so I'm really excited. But I hope you're doing well. But we're talking about Thor now, right? So Thor, we come in here. Thor is a menace in the backline. He can fry any DPS. He can pretty much fry any front line with no shield. He can be extremely annoying to your Magneto. He can just push and pull him around. Like, I've seen so many clips out there from Thor players that just bully the Magneto. All they do is bully the Magneto, push and pull them everywhere. So, you know, that they do such a great job with just demanding space, and they can brawl. They're one of the best brawl tanks in the game, right? Thor is one of the best brawl tanks, and he can be extremely annoying to Hulk, right? There's a whole thing. There's a whole thing with like Hulk players and Thor players and how they hate each other, etc., etc. You know, And I find it hilarious that they just constantly beef between Thor and Hulk, right? Who is the strongest Avenger? And we'll find out every season because Hulk is always up going against a good Thor. And a good Thor can shut down a Hulk with their mobility and be really, really annoying. All right. So I'm going to put in pretty fast succession. I'm going to put this in very fast succession, chat. So we got Strange, Groot, and Magneto. All right, the top 3 tanks. Venom ult is useless. I disagree with you. I disagree with you wholeheartedly because if you play with a good Venom and the Venom communicates when they're going to use their ult to the DPS, they can shut down the backline very easily. All right, so we have Strange, Groot, and Magneto. I put them all in S+ tiers. It's pretty self-evident. They're always being chosen this season. Groot is extremely annoying with his now CC immunity, right? He can be CC immune with his big iron wall. Strange, he's got his ult every like fight, it feels like. A very good Strange can get his ult very quickly. Venom can one-shot most supports with his ult and tendrils, exactly, if he used them correctly. But also, if you actually combine your ult with other DPS ults, Venom is super strong because you got to remember he does an anti-heal when he ults. So if he anti-heals the entire backline and then you have a Phoenix who comes in and cleans up what you just finished doing, yeah, your team is obliterated. All right. So anyways, going to Groot. Groot has his iron wall. He has his walls, which are super, super annoying. If you take out Phoenix and you take out Hela, if you take out the heavy poke characters, Groot walls become really, really annoying. Now, there are other characters that help, combat against a good Groot. So if you have an Iron Man or any flyer can help against a good Groot. You also have Squirrel Girl does a lot of damage to his stuff, and Punisher does a lot of damage to their walls. So anytime you see a really good Groot and you want to go up against a really good Groot, just Punisher, Squirrel Girl, Flyers, all of those characters do really, really well against a Groot. Now, you got to be careful. You got to make sure that if you are playing a Flyer, that your supports actually heal you, because Groot can reach pretty high with his primary fire, so he can be really annoying to play against if you're not paying attention. Am I crazy for putting Strange on S? No. Some people would put him in S. Some people put him in S+ tier. I'm going to tell you that Strange is really, really annoying, and he's probably one of the most picked characters this season because Hawkeye is a menace if he goes unchecked. So Strange for me is going to stay up there, Magneto's going to stay up there, and Groot's going to stay up there. Those are the most picked tanks in the game right now. Strange can, against, if you have a Moon Knight on the opposing team, the Moon Knight is doing a lot of, burst damage to your team. You put up a big shield in front of your team with Strange, and, he becomes just really, really annoying, right? So there's no need for you to be like, oh no, Strange is an S tier. No, he's going to be really, really good to block incoming damage from poke characters. So he's not the best when there's a Punisher or a Phoenix, right? Because those will demolish your shield. Even a Squirrel Girl demolishes Strange's shield, but he's still going to block a lot of incoming damage to your backline, and holding a big shield like his, he can really help that. Thank you so much for the follow. Really do appreciate it. So Strange will help with a lot of the incoming poke damage. This is why a lot of people will scream for a shield tank, because shield, Strange has the biggest shield in the game. So Magneto, again, Magneto's self-evident. He has a one-shot combo he can do to pretty much almost any DPS and any support character in the game with his ult. He has a lot of saving potential now with his 2 bubbles. He can save himself. He can save other characters on his team. Having a good Magneto and awareness with Magneto is really, really good. He's a really strong solo tank as well. There's a lot of team comps out there that will run 1-3-2, which is like one tank, 3 DPS, and 2 support, and they usually pick a Magneto. Not to say that Strange can't do it, because Strange can do it, but it becomes a little bit easier when you have 2 bubbles. You can take care of your team, and Magneto again just sucks up all the projectiles and can pretty one shot almost any character with his ult. You're in love with the new Luna, Snow, or Cloak and Dagger? Luna, Snow, or Cloak and Dagger are amazing, and we'll get to those strategist picks here in a second. But again, those 3 tanks are the top 3 tanks in the game, so obviously they're going to go into S+ here.
Now, make a name for myself here.
Chat, we're going to talk about Thing. Cassie, thank you so much for the follow. Really do appreciate it. So we have one tank left, and we have DPS pool tank, or tank pool left. All right, so we're gonna talk about Thing. Chat, I think Thing is extremely good, but I don't think he's at his top A game yet. I have a feeling he might be a Gambit main. I don't know. What gave you that initial reaction? Queen, thank you so much for the follow. Really do appreciate it. Thank you. So Thing, I think, is an A tier. The reason why I think is an A tier is, again, he just suffers from heavy poke. He suffers from heavy poke. Penny's too high? No! Get out of here, Brandon. What's up, bro? I just gave you a shout out earlier. I was literally talking about you. I think Penny is in a good spot, though. I think Penny's A tier. She shuts down a lot, and I mean, I know that you think Thor is D tier. Get out of here. Get out of here. Thor is not D tier. I think Penny is extremely well done. Thank you so much for the follow. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for the you're awesome. Appreciate you. Yo, what's up, Zammy? How you doing? And Emma? Oh yeah, we got to do Emma as well. Thank you. I think Penny's in a good spot. She's the worst tank right now. I'm standing on this. I don't think she's the worst tank. I think there are other tanks that suffer, but I think, again, and this is my opinion, Brandon, if you want to jump into VC, let me know. I'll bring you in here. We'll have a conversation. But I think that Penny, right, in my opinion, I think she's a really good tank if you have another main tank with you. I think she's a really good, strong off tank. I think she does a really good job, and I even gave you props earlier because, like, you do such a really good job of strategically placing your mines in situations where people have to back up into it or move forward and then get exploded on, right? Don't forget about Rogue. Yes, and we got to do Rogue. I think that she's situational, right? But she's also a very strong tank, like on certain maps. Like for instance, what's it called? Central Park. Central Park, she's one of the strongest defensive tanks there, right? You put down your nest and they have a hard time if they don't have heavy poke. Again, I said this earlier when I was talking about the tier list, right? If you have heavy poke, Penny becomes, I wouldn't say useless, but it becomes harder for Penny to play. Right? Because all they're going to do all day long, especially with Bucky being on the field and you have other characters who just CC you and push you into their backline, it becomes really, really useless. But you have very good mobility with Penny and you're able to escape. But anyways, that's me talking about, Penny and stuff. I think she's got really strong abilities to be able to shut down a lot of different ults as well. So I saw a bit of your content on Penny. Yeah, everybody give good love to Brandon. If you guys don't know who Brandon is, make sure to go follow Brandon. Brandon's an extremely amazing content creator, plays Penny all the time. Currently, I think you're done with your main, Brandon. If you're still here, I think you're done with your main and you're on your alt now, trying to grind up your alt account as well. So people get to see, and he does VOD reviews for those who play Penny. He does a really good VOD review thing as well. If you're playing tank for a first timer, who would you recommend to play? As far as playing tank for the first time, I would say playing one of the easiest, which would be Magneto, right? Magneto, I think, is a really easy tank to play. Strange is really easy to play. So those are really good first time tank players. Those are the best. Penny's easy to counter, easy. She isn't easy it's dependent on the player. Like if a good person, a person who understands the game and can pick up Penny, understands their cooldowns and what they're used for, Penny can be really, really annoying to go against. That's why I think that Penny is a really good spot. But again, we're going back and forth between all the tanks. We're on Thing right now. So Thing is extremely good in certain situations. Again, he suffers the same thing that a lot of Penny players suffer from, which is heavy poke, right? You get a heavy poke comp, Thing can get shredded very easily, especially if Gambit's on the field. He'll just anti your thing and your thing will explode in front of your eyes in 2 seconds if you have people who understand to focus that character down. However, Thing is really good against dive, right? So if you have a good Thing and you have a team who understands how to play around your Thing can shut down dive fairly easily. right? So I think he's definitely not S tier. He's not S plus tier. I would even argue he's not really A tier either. I would say he's more like in between A and B. He's in between, which is why I put